People recording. Okay, guys, guess what you're missing today? Pancakes, homemade pancakes. It still smells like pancakes. I smell like pancakes. I will smell like pancakes all day. Oatmeal, muffins.
Thank you.
Mm. We have sweet and sour here.
All that off, but you can have it. But you no, I don't like this.
Tabitha's starting trouble in the back.
Good, John.
Mm. Oh my God, she's too funny. She is too funny. All right, let me get you guys situated. And we'll get started. Yeah, we're gonna be here at 2 o'clock. I can't get started today. I can't. It's too much fun already. So I'm gonna start out between all our fun here and just let you know that I just want to give you an update on Jim Sillins and his family and Mary Francis. Before I forget. So Jim Sillins not only reached out to Carol last week because we did that big collection. Thank you guys for supporting us. We had so much here as far as canned goods and foods for the food pantry. So Carol reached out to Jim and said she asked Jim to come and pick it up, take whatever he needed, and then bring the rest of the food pantry. And he was so thankful and grateful. He came to me that afternoon in my office privately and just said, everybody has been amazing. Like he could never imagine how supportive people would be from all over, and especially this office. Like he's so grateful to everybody. So just an update, his wife has started treatment. She has started chemotherapy. The first few weeks were a lot worse than they expected, but she is doing well now, and she's pretty much stable and doing well. His mom, because he has this going on by times two, so her mom, who's also with them, has been a little bit more. It's been a little bit more difficult for her with the chemo. So, but he's in great spirits, honestly, for someone who's going through it, and. So I just encourage you all to just reach out to him. Send a text here and there, send an email, just let him know you're still thinking about him and you're there if you need anything. I mean, that goes a long way. And then Mary Francis, I really haven't spoke to her, but we have texted and communicated. And she started her chemo and she said it's a rough road right now. She's going through a rough road. So she also communicated to me that one of the things that's pushing her through is our family here and just the people she got to know in the short time she was here, and that she can't wait to get back here and be with everybody again. So I just wanted to share that. So again, please just send a text or an email, just reaching out. It's all you have to do. It's very simple. Just showing them you're thinking about them and you're here for them if you need anything. So anyway, sorry to start off that way, but I just did not want to forget to share that information with you because everybody is so grateful for all of you guys here. So what is a realtor? What is the definition of a realtor? So a noun, pronounced realtor, someone who solves problems you never knew existed in ways that will blow your mind. Can everybody agree with that? Yeah. And also, see badass miracle worker. Okay, we are problem solvers every day. We get thrown challenges and obstacles that we never ever could have imagined, right? We're like, no, this can't be true. Like we could all write books, we could all write a chapter of a book together, and people would think it was not real because there's no way. Everybody pick a chapter of your craziest deal that you went through, and we will put it together for you.
I need more than one chapter.
Yeah, John needs his own book. John needs his own book. For sure. I will agree with him on that. There's some of us here who just do have more challenges than others. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, this is what we do every day. Everybody gets into real estate because it's so easy, right? It's so easy to be a realtor. But anyway, I thought that was really cute. And then top 10 reasons why real estate agents fail. They will not call people back. What's my phrase? JFFU. Just freaking follow up. They do not plan for how long it will take to make money. They get stuck educating themselves instead of building a network. They do not create a database of clients. They're always trying out the latest lead generation source and ignoring the basics, right? There's always that quick fix You know, someone's always shining that, has a shiny penny in front of you, and it's just like, yes, that's gonna work. That's gonna be the way I'm gonna grow. They sacrifice the client's best interest for one commission check. They have a full-time job and think that being an agent takes only a couple hours a week. They do not follow up with clients. They waste time with unqualified buyers. And they're not willing to market themselves to the world and assume people will simply buy them. So again, we have to get back to basics again. This is just my reminder to you guys, getting back to basics, making phone calls, reaching out to our clients, reaching out to our database, getting my white grid up to date. All those things will help you become successful for the following year.
Some
And
of them need to answer the phone. That should be up there.
Oh, yeah, and answer your phone. Yes, answer your phone if you're a realtor. If it's a spam call, then hang up on them and put it in and block them. But every call should be answered, 100%.
I'm not talking about our wife.
No, our office is the best. We're perfect. It's everybody else I'm talking about here.
Or respond to email, or text messages.
Yeah, text messages. You can't leave a voicemail because it's full. If I call somebody and your voicemail is full, I send you a text saying, FYI, your voicemail is full.
Yeah.
Because your voicemail should never be full. You're gonna miss opportunities. So anyway, remember, just get back to the basics, and this is the time. Everything you do today is going to be your bread and butter in November, December, right? Everything you do next month is going to be your bread and butter next year already in 2022. So you have to work today so that you can be successful tomorrow. So a little bit of a market update. Is the market cooling off? So pending home sales. So that's historically, right? That white dotted line. And this is where we are. Look at where we were in January of 2021. Historically, the highest pending home sales, right? And then where we are now. So it's gone down a little bit, but we're still way above the average in this market, a great market, healthy market. So we are seeing some signs of softening in the housing market, but context is important here. We're still very much in a seller's market, but we are seeing some early signs of softening, right? Did some people see that in the last month, especially in August? Things are starting to pick up again. Multiple offers are starting to happen again, right? People are getting buyer leads again, and buyers are calling them, wanting to go out. But we are seeing early signs of softening. So what does that mean for you guys? What does that mean for your clients? So this is a graph of showing times monthly index, right? So how many showings through showing time, that is, right? Since January of 2020 till January 2021. So you see in March and April of 2020, where we were COVID, that we were in the middle of COVID. Those were the months we were in the middle of COVID. We were all frozen. We were all inside. Nothing was really going on. People were still showing. I do know agents who were out there doing whatever they had to do, but obviously not as much. And then you see March of this year, the highest amount of showings, April, and then it's tapered down a little bit since then, right? So a little bit of tapering, but still, if you look at the numbers specifically for this year over last year, and then I'm sure the previous years, we're still a lot of activity going on in our market.
And I think people are just getting back out again, and they're like going on vacation, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, we're out.
It's typical for August to be
July and
slower,
August,
yes, camps end, football practice starts, baseball practice starts, a lot of things happen in August, and everybody's motivation goes down in August. It gets hot, you just want to enjoy the last few weeks of summer. So it's typical for the motivation for anybody, whether you're working, whether you're out looking for homes, whatever it is that you're doing, because in September, everything's going to start getting back to normal again. And that's what you're just, going through time to get through that. So July 2019, there was 123, just to give you a guide, in 2019, before COVID, before any of, the market appreciated like it did, that's where it was. So
I have a quick
still
question.
crazy high.
On the previous slide, I think it was a dip, and then it came back up again.
Let's try to get back there.
Yeah, that was in January 2020.
So this was for March right? So this was the March, April time. This was COVID. This was COVID.
That's COVID.
When we were literally shut down.
Shut down.
Yes, so that's what that dip was. So the US housing market continues to be ultra competitive even as new COVID cases surge. But new data shows the level of competition and ensuing price increases may be cooling off just slightly. Data shows that 49.6% of homes sold for more than the initial list price in July, far ahead of the numbers reported in July 2020, when 26.8% of homes were sold above initial asking price. So year over year. So July last year compared to July this year. But below June's total when 50.4% of homes sold for more than initially listed. So just think of it that those numbers are humongous, right? Humongous. Those are really big numbers. So here's a graph to show you what I just said in easier to understand format. So July 2020, June 2021, and July of 2021. So the amount of homes selling over list price. So new monthly listings from 2017 to 2021. So you can see by each graph, by color, the difference in new monthly home that came on the market. And obviously, 2020 had the least. And then 2021.
Like colorblind, I didn't.
Yeah, no. So 2021, lowest, and then, but went over 2020 in July, in June and July. So again, it felt like there was no homes on the market. It's just because the homes were going so quickly. As soon as they hit the market, they were gone. So if these changing inventory dynamics continue, we could see a wave of real estate activity heading into the latter part of the year. So they were consistently saying this from the beginning of the year, that this part of the year, moving forward from September on to the end of the year, we're going to see more inventory coming on. We're going to see more activity in the market. This is going to be a great time. More inventory now than we're going to see in the next few years, actually.
Finally. But why now?
I think I think a lot of people who are putting their home on the market are putting it on now versus April, which we're going to get into. So typically these sellers that are putting their home on the market now are typically what we see in the April months. But because of what we just went through and the appreciation, everybody now wants to get in now before the new year. So that's why we're seeing more in this specific section of the year than in January, February, March, April.
So anybody that was sold a year ago is now.
Correct. So is this more of a normal market? So normal, these are normal numbers, right? Mortgage rate 5.1%, price appreciation 4.1, month supply 4 to 6, days on market 52, selling over list 18%, offers per listing 2.2, and then sale price to list ratio under 100%, right? And then you see what we are today. Mortgage rates are at an average of 2.9, price appreciation 17.2, and this is in those numbers here anyway. The normal numbers are nationwide. Today's numbers are local. I researched those numbers to put them in, so those are local numbers. Okay. Yes, correct.
The state too, or?
Well, in our area, I just went into the MLS, so wherever the numbers within MLS, so that
So they could be even higher.
counties, yes.
Price appreciation.
But just how different it is today than our normal markets, right? There we go. Not normal, right? So affordability, and I'm going to throw Anthony in after this. So there's a lot on this that you could maybe chime in on if you feel. So monthly mortgage payment increasing. So meaning the amount of mortgage payment that people are now paying versus what they used to pay, right? The actual mortgage payment they're paying monthly. In 2020, even though rates were a little higher, right? Not a lot, a little higher because of the amount of they're paying over asking, right? They're paying a little more in the mortgage payment. So they went from about an average of $1,033 to $1,255. Affordability continues to decrease. So in January, February, March, and now we're in June, just based on the appreciation of homes. Because we know it's not more interest rates. They're they're decreasing as well, which should make your payment decrease, but not in this case. So percentage of income needed for a mortgage payment increasing as home prices continue to climb. So again, January of 2019, you needed a 16, I guess it was about 16.2% versus now you're at 17.1 based on where the numbers have gone. Historic norm is 21.2. So Freddie Mac's The Essential Guide to Creating a Home Buying Budget. Most lenders agree that you should spend no more than 28% of your gross monthly income on a mortgage payment, including principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. NAR's guidance is the 25% mortgage payment to income share takes into consideration that a homeowner has other expenses such as property insurance, taxes, utilities, and maintenance, so that total housing expenses are no more than 30% of income. Housing costs are not burdensome if they account for no more than 30% of income. So again, that's something that Anthony figures out for us, right? We don't have to worry about that anymore. I remember when I bought my first place in 1997, actually it wasn't my first place, but I just remember that specifically when we were coming up here. Our realtor sat there and figured out our mortgage. She figured out everything. We just sat in front of her with a pen and paper and a calculator. We told her what we, what income we had and the expenses, and she figured out what we could afford or not. That was it. And then we got in the car and we went out. And we went out to homes that we didn't even know where we were going to see until she pulled up in front. And then we're like, I don't know about that, based on maybe something that it had. So, in fact, my house specifically, I tell you guys this story all the time. My house that we ended up buying was Pepto-Bismol Pink. So people knew us in town as the Pepto-Bismol Pink House or the Barbie Dream House. And yeah, so when I walked into kindergarten and, for back to school night, and they would have that board on the wall and your kids had to make with construction paper what your house looked like to them. I didn't have to go anywhere near it. I would be across the room and see the pink construction paper. I'm like, oh, I see my house. I don't have to, I don't need to put any more attention to it. The people who we bought from came from Brooklyn, and she said there's no pink houses in Brooklyn, so she wanted a pink house. So what happened was we pulled up and my husband said, no effing way are we going in this house. And I was pregnant with my daughter, 7 months pregnant. And I said, I have to use the ladies' room. So I have to go into this house, and then fell in love with the house. That's exactly how it happened. So just the difference between then and now, it was a whole different football game. And I mean, it was 24 years ago. So yes, it seems like a long time, but then it doesn't when you think about how far we've come in 24 years. It's amazing. So mortgage payment as a percentage of income. So NAR's guidance, historical average, and today's percentage. And I know
that's just principal and interest, right?
Yes.
Not the tax,
Right. So
HOA.
Vin has a good formula that he uses because he does a lot of rental properties. So he has a formula, which I'm going to have him share with everybody at one point because I think it's really great, that he can figure out based on the application that the tenant supplies, their income, and then he uses this ratio to see if they even are qualified for that house based on that alone. So it helps him vet out people right away instead of wasting anybody's time, because he can figure out that formula, which is really great. I know I've asked him a million times. Homes are less affordable, but not unaffordable. So looking ahead, home price forecast for 2022. So they're saying an average of 5.5% for the upcoming year for home price increase appreciation. So again, this is a great slide to show someone who is waiting for the market to crash or the bubble to burst, because that buyer thinks that next year he's going to get a bargain. It's not going to be a bargain. Right now, it's going to be a bargain compared to next year. I expect an unusually busy fall season. Sellers are putting homes on the market. Normally, this activity happens in the early spring. So, yeah. Oops.
So just a market update. The market last week was light week for economic data. On the positive side, first-time claims for weekly unemployment benefits dropped to the lowest level since the start of the pandemic, so that's great. A lot more people are entering back into the workforce. On the other hand, the wholesale price index continued to show inflationary pressures. Though the mortgage rates have been stable from week to week, they have in the last few weeks. They haven't been too crazy at all. They do continue to be volatile day to day, so you have to keep an eye on that sort of thing. As the Fed continues tapering of the bond and mortgage purchases, but the week jobs report shows that the recovery has a ways to go. This week, we'll see the release on retail inflation, industrial production, and retail sales. Just talking about kind of surveys and stuff like that. When Freddie releases their surveys as lenders advertise their rates, the rates are based on little to no price adjustments. So what that means is they're giving the floor rate, right? So they're giving that rate before you have a certain kind of credit score, certain type of mortgage program, certain type of down payment, certain type of mortgage product. So a lot of times when people see, or even everybody sees advertised rates, that's typically not the interest rate people get, because obviously their qualifications are different than what's advertised. A lot of times you'll see all the best of the best advertised with no pricing adjustments, low short window rate locks, large down payments, etc. Sometimes it's even teaser rates offered, like adjustable rate mortgages or even a 15-year rate mortgage, average over like a 30-year period. So people see on an adjustable rate mortgage because it's amortized over 30 years, 30-year mortgage. Well, it's amortized over 30 years, but it has a 3 or 5 year adjustable rate on that. So those rates are typically always lower for our clients. Obviously, have your clients speak to me early in the process so we can find out what they can afford, and then obviously see if they're eligible for the program that we're running right now. This is a good kind of indication.
This is
of the credit score. A lot of times people always never understand this. A lot of times people always look on free sites or their credit card companies that give free credit scores as an indication. I was speaking to a client late last night and we were getting ready to run credit, and they were very, upfront with me saying, "Oh, on Experian it shows a 720 something credit score," and then what I ended up pulling, unfortunately, was like 679. So you can see there's like a 40 to 50 point difference there when it comes down to that. So that's the really important thing when we're speaking to folks in regards to doing pre-approvals and holding interest rates over the phone. It's very, very important. But you can see that how it breaks up to 100% of the kind of credit score scale. 30% of it's based on accounts that's owed, 35% is based on your payment history, 10% on mix of credit, 15% is based on the length of credit history, and then 10% is based on new credit. So what I always tell people forever is, listen, you might have had credit challenges over time. You might have had accumulated a lot of debt. A lot of people then eventually pay it off, luckily, right? And they close out like all their credit cards going, I'm not good with credit cards. I'm going to shut it all down. It's like the worst thing you could ever do. They think by having no debt, that's like a great thing, right? If you want to pay off your credit card debt, that's great. You still want to continue to use it. You never want to close out any credit cards. Use them very sporadically, a cup of coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, ShopRite, whatever it is. You pay that stuff off, even if you're paying just a real minor amount of interest. That's good because it shows that you still have credit and you're evolving and revolving credit always around. But when you start to shut that stuff off, then you have no credit. You have no available credit. And then believe it or not, the three credit bureaus look at it as like risk. Like, oh, wow, they're not using your credit. Maybe they can't afford to take on any credit. So you'll actually lower credit scores from that sort of thing. On our end, obviously, I've mentioned this before, when I'm pre-approving buyers, I try to look at their credit report and give them guidance on what they need to be doing, either in the short or long term. We're not miracle workers, so I tell clients what they need to do now. Do you want to wait and look to buy down the road if they're trying to fix credit? Because obviously, lower credit scores typically come with higher interest rates, right? Higher MI if they're putting less than 20% down, etc. Maybe they might not even be eligible for a loan, so it all depends too as well. But I work with credit repair companies. I've been doing this for such a long time. I'm able to give a lot of clients a lot of guidance on what they can easily do with their credit profile to fix that stuff very, very, very quick. Since the pandemic started, approval standards have tightened and the price adjustments for lower scores have risen. It's funny, on this, based on a comment today, FHA made an announcement this morning. We're waiting for kind of information, but they made a lot of adjustments when the pandemic hit because they were really concerned about people pulling assets out of their house, refinancing, cash out, people that might have been losing jobs or reduced work income, that sort of thing. People are like, hey, we'll pull some cash out, we'll live off that for a little bit. Some people were actually pulling money out to buy additional properties, right? Investment properties, maybe second homes, because they thought it might have been a great time, or whatever the situation may be. But some of those add-ons that they added to kind of mitigate that a little bit, they're actually pulling back. So it's a good thing, right? So it gives more affordability back to buyers. We have access to credit simulators, as I was just mentioning. internally, and then also third-party companies that I work with. It all depends on just timing. I guided a client 3 weeks ago to my credit repair guy. They started working on some challenges and issues, but again, it takes time. It's not an overnight success. It doesn't happen in a week. Sometimes it takes several months for them to kind of work on that. The customer, I told them, I said, if you go out and find a house right away, like many people often do, we just might not have enough time to fix credit. And he found a house right away, and he's like, listen, this is what it is. This is my bed. I got to lay in it, but we'll figure out what we can do. I want to fly. I can try to pull credit more closer to closing, and maybe see if we can get a better rate. We engage with credit experts. So if your clients are really challenged, like I do that. Happy hour. There's nothing else after me, right?
Yeah, well, after this is the question of.
Okay, gotcha. So here's our happy hour reminder next week. I know there's been some chatter on Facebook about the happy hour, so I don't want to hear any excuses of anybody mentioning that, oh, I wasn't aware, I wasn't knowing about this, but it should be a good event. What's that?
You didn't invite me.
Okay,
That's what they said.
exactly. So everybody should be aware. It's next week.
Like an SOS overhead people's houses.
It's
Smoke signal.
It's-
Smoke signal.
it's outdoors at Tommy's
Let's have a
Tap.
party bus.
Free drinks.
Have a party bus that we can drink as much as we can and we don't have to get
It's outdoors, not outdoors where we used to do it at Simberger. It's behind it. They have like a covered area back there too as well. It's a little bit more private. We've never had that experience before, so we're gonna try something different. They've redone that place a little bit, so it's not the way it once was. So it should be a great time. I've been there a couple times for food. It's pretty good. So I look forward to you right now.
Always packed, always packed.
So Anthony, what's your opinion of what's going on with Wells Fargo? They got into trouble again. Do you find you're getting more buyers jumping ship going to you?
I can't really comment on the Wells Fargo piece. I don't really know exactly what's going on. I didn't see.
They got
news wise.
fined.
They get fined. All the banks get
They
fined
were
all
just
the time.
this is really bad. This is like their 8th or 9th time and it's like a political thing
The
now.
problem is they make up such a large makeup of mortgages and banking. They'll just keep paying fines. It's cheaper for them, these big banks, to keep paying fines on non-regulatory things that they just kind of keep doing, whether it's, reaching out to clients and trying to sell them all these kind of things. And that's what happened to them 3 years ago. They were opening up credit cards without people's authorizations and things of that nature too as well. So that's kind of crazy, right?
But it's an issue though, because if I'm putting an offer and a lot of the agents say, well, if it's from Wells Fargo, Bank of America, I don't even want to see it. You're not dealing with it.
That's what I'm here for. It's such
And
an
it's all
easy
the, and
play.
it's all the time. And anytime I've dealt with like Bank of America, they've always let the buyer down. So I'm like, anytime I see B of A, I shift them over to financial because I know it's a shit show. Excuse my French.
I think we should be speaking to every single customer out there right now. I mean, I can't tell you how many people can call me going, I need help. It's a 25-day closing.
Yeah.
They've gotten a runaround from their lender the last several weeks. They don't know what's going on. And it's problem after problem. The only challenge I get is, I have to kind of execute and get done in an immediate fashion.
Yeah.
So obviously, if my crunch time goes like this, and it makes everybody stressed, get kind of crazy. So if we're in front of that a little bit more, I think it'd be a lot easier of a transaction, less stressful.
For those 2 days, you're like,
Listen, when you're dealing with the large behemoths of the world, people that you don't speak to, people that are online retailers and stuff like that, this is the kind of service you're going to get on a regular basis. There's no human contact. There's no person like me that's kind of micromanaging their every step of their transaction, telling the attorney that closing is today. Did you check with the other attorney to confirm? Here's the closing date. Are we still on the same pace? Is reseller concessions coming? How is the inspections? Like, that doesn't go on in another world. They're just hoping to get the closing. Then they find out we're not closing on time. There's a concession that just came up. That's too much of a concession. We need to modify things. You gotta kind of be working.
but
with
you know, that speaks to the type of company they are. I mean, it's like,
You're just a
down the line,
number.
that's like, that's their MO.
You're just a
That's their
number.
MO,
And sadly,
yeah.
people just feel because you bank with them that that's my home team,
Yeah.
And that's a logical answer. You can bank with them for 5, 10, 30, 50 years. You just feel that, they have all my info. They don't have your bank statements. They know nothing about you. Yeah, you might have filled out a profile 9 years ago when you open up the account, but that doesn't mean you didn't provide anything. You still have to provide the same amount of information. But it's unfortunate. But I mean, whatever you can do to get the buyers in front of me, because right now I'm kind of cleaning up a lot of challenged buyers out there or challenged lenders that are just dropping. I had an agent actually in Essex County. The guy was working with the lender for 12 months. Her listing, shame on her, didn't get them to me. The pictures and the photos from the original listing are snow. I'm like, what's going on? The contract was written out in March. She's like, he had nothing but challenges. I'm like, you're coming to me now? I have one cleared like 20 days. Like, don't have a clue of what people are doing. I personally think people are just like barely in it. What I mean by that is like they just snip along and they just walk away And they're like, yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. And they just hope like their staff or their team of people work it out. But I can't comment on what people do out there. I have no idea
But
how.
you know, it is, people are fun, they're on the shit list.
I think
A
it's,
lot of people avoid that.
and that's kind of something like upfront, if you're kind of really having that conversation with a buyer going, I can't work with you if you're gonna do this, because it's only gonna make my life completely
And
insane.
the offers are gonna get.
And your deals are not gonna get accepted, because the first kickback is, I need to have you working with someone that you're familiar with. You know, that's what we're
And
hearing.
a lot of people don't want to
Yeah.
stay.
That's
They're
huge.
like, why did I get accepted? And this, you know, and I noticed that, you know.
You gotta be careful
almost
what you
let-
say.
Well, you know, the
stuff
more
like
you
that.
do up front, the better it is in the end. Really, you have to set up all these expectations up front, because once they put the offer in, then they're emotionally attached. And it's really hard to get them to think logically and do what you
And then
want to
they
do.
gotta break it away at that point. It's, well, I'm already halfway, and I don't know, I already paid an appraisal fee. I'm already on the book already. I can't get my refund back. You know, like, perfect example. and I'll leave you with this. Did a pre-approval for a customer. The deal gets put in. Agent never told me that she also got a pre-approval with Rocket Homes, right? So the deal got together. No one let me know from a few days prior to, and Rocket took the ball and ran it, ordered the appraisal and everything. So I asked the client, I go, if you want to go with them, it's no problem whatsoever. Send me the loan estimate. $3,500 in additional cost to the client. But she's a first-time home buyer. She has no idea what's going on. So she's canceling the loan, canceling the appraisal, and I have all the documents. It's easy, super easy. But because I'm not so involved and no one's giving me a heads up if the deal's accepted and, you know, I didn't know what I should do, I can't help so much.
But you know, that happens in our conversation.
All of that
Gotta-
happens,
gotta
all of that
control it
happens.
upfront. Gotta
Yeah.
control it.
So guys, I want everybody to get ready for the question of the week. Okay, everybody ready? Cyberspace and in person?
Is Lanny there? I wanna see
Lonnie's
what
up,
Lanny-
Dennis is there. Look who showed up.
Lanny, what do you?
Look who showed up.
Lanny,
Okay, what section of credit data carries the most weight in calculating a credit score? So now we're gonna see if you guys are paying attention during Anthony's
I
thing.
want everyone to get it. I
Hello?
think it's a pain for me.
A, amounts
D
of
is my final answer.
payment history. C, new credit. D, a mix of credit.
D.
Oh, wait, where am I?
D is my final answer.
I think D.
That's all we see is Dennis's face.
They put, I could be weird.
He said, I think he said D, huh?
I said D.
D, I think it's D. I think it's.
We want to see.
What's Lonnie's answer?
I'll tell you in 1 second. I haven't seen it yet.
Anthony.
Lonnie has not answered yet. She's looking it up right now. No. I did tell her to it. Okay, Lonnie's answer is B,
You know what?
and the correct answer is B. Yeah.
Sorry, Dennis.
Correct answer is B.
Got it right in the nick of time. Was waiting for Lonnie.
Lonnie, Anthony wants to know if you're coming to the triple play.
I'm ready for you.
He's comping you. Anthony is comping you in Atlantic City.
I haven't heard too much about that. Who's going?
Yeah.
It is on. I have seen, yeah, it's the first week.
Can I see?
We'll start.
Go, but I don't want to go by myself.
I want to go, but you
I
know,
plan on
I don't want to be like the only one there as well. Lucy, are you going?
Yes, I'm gonna go.
So that's one.
We're having it, I'm doing it.
Okay.
So circle, I mean, that circle of excellence,
You
Uh,
didn't go the last.
triple play in Atlantic City is going to happen this year. It's a great way to get ahead of your CE credits and have some fun with, you know, not only colleagues from our office, but build relationships with other agents, you know, people in the business. So I'll put that information up actually next meeting to see, and then people can start going on. Yeah, we did. Someone put it on the Facebook page. I think it was Vin. I think it was Vin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, guys, I just want you to remember our value proposition. So I've been going through, you know, as I meet with new agents and I go through the pages, like it's my listing presentation, so to say, right? When I meet with new agents, I have a listing presentation, right? To go through and show with them not only how I'm going to support them, but how Weikert's going to support them, just like you do when you go through your listing presentation, hopefully, and your buyer's consultation. So I've been taking, pieces out each week, just to, again, sort of like re-engage you in why you came here in the first place, why you joined Weikert, why you joined this office, why you're here, right? You need that re-engagement. So Micro delivers integrated, is someone talking to me?
Cry.
Oh, yeah.
What do I do?
It's definitely Kelly, because I can hear her. Oh, I think she came in the front door. It's Deb and Kelly.
Boost topic, well,
Yeah,
not,
I can't,
I boost companies a lot, so anybody
I'm trying. Okay, I muted them. Let me get that out of the way. Okay, so, real estate, mortgage, insurance, settlement, home protection and moving services, customer experience. So for sellers, expert advice, reliable support, strong communication, helps us sell properties faster for top dollar. And for buyers, a team of expert advisors deliver timely and accurate information and support for peace of mind and a faster closing. For sales associates, we simplify the real estate experience, build loyalty, referrals, and repeat business. And the way I share this with new agents is I say, have you gotten any packages from Amazon today? And they're like, yes. And I said, yeah, we probably get 3 or 5 a day, right? It's delivered to my house. So that experience, that ability to be able to go onto Amazon and find anything you want, from socks to a picnic table to party wear, anything that you need, be able to search prices right there and be able to get it within 1 or 2 days, is why Amazon is who it is today, a household name that everybody uses, right? So that's what we want to deliver, that same customer experience. We want to be able to provide our clients everything they need to support them in their real estate transaction. Nobody wants to go here, there, everywhere anymore. We've seen that just with Amazon alone. So this allows our clients and us to control our transaction, to be the professional, the consultant, and to make sure that we are providing the best service possible. So again, just a reminder of why we do what we do and our value proposition, and here at Whitehurst, that helps our agents become more successful. Sometimes. Okay, so this is as simple as our business is. Ask everyone you speak to, have you heard about our $5,000 guarantee? It only allows me to do it once. No. Or not. There we go. So some office updates. So have you tried Remind? Does everybody know Remind?
Yes.
Okay. That is a great, great, great resource for all of you. I've heard you tell me all time and time again that maybe Cole doesn't have all the numbers, or Cole has outdated numbers, or Cole. Well, you have Remind at your fingertips and you guys are not using it. If you should go on Remind, right, which is part of GSMLS right now, so everybody has a free subscription to Remind. It's free.
Remind Pro.
Yes, Remind Pro. And it is a service that's provided to you, and they have trainings going on all the time. So if you just opened up your GSMLS, there was one yesterday that I was signed up for that I got caught up with things and I didn't do it.
Part of it. I like the app.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, I downloaded the app, yeah.
So I'm just gonna go on my GSMLS for a minute. For some reason, it's taken, okay. So once you go into your GSMLS, number 1, right here, Remind Pro data mining. These are the different classes they have, and you can sign up right here and you can take them at the convenience of your home. Okay, you don't have to leave, you don't have to do anything, but just sign up for these classes. And then if you want to get into Remind, you go into your search button up here, right up here. You click onto Remind. If you haven't signed in yet, then you're going to have to create your username and password. Your username is your GSMLS number, right? So I'm going to just show you real quickly one thing, because I'm not an expert on it in any way, but I do know enough. Oh God. I thought it was going to just like open up for me.
Automatic. Hey, you know that Remind is giving this sheet when you're first logged
Give
in.
me 1 second, people. 1 little second. One thing I do is keep all of my passwords in my phone. Otherwise, oh, there we go. That would give away every password to everything. I'd unlock my whole life, unfortunately, if I did that. Okay, so we're going to, could someone here give me a address of our property? Let me-
18 Sunrise Drive.
18 Sunrise Drive, okay. Okay,
And also right on the side.
oh, here it is, search. Yes, you have all listings, there's a lot of things, but I'm just gonna show you a real quick resource for you. So I'm gonna put in 18 Sunrise Drive. Is it Drive?
Yes.
Okay, because it's coming up in everything but not in Morris Plains.
07950, put that up there and then it'll come up. 07.
But it's coming? I can't. I'm going quicker than the site is. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna put this in. Okay, so now I have any clients information, right? Any property, maybe it's one I own, maybe it's one I don't, I mean, not own, one I'm working with. Maybe I'm just doing some prospecting in a neighborhood. So here's the property. I go down, there's a listing details, the agent's name, all the key stats, public record, okay. The tax records, okay, right here, everything's on one page for me. I don't have to go to different pages. Tax assessments, assessed value, market value. So it does give you a market value tool. Again, it's a computerized valuation. So you still have to do your due diligence. Your property history, people's names. And then when I get down to the bottom here, see there's a valuation for me, an average valuation. And these are the places
love
that,
that word.
these
I
are the
love the
sources
estimate right
of the evaluation and other valuations. And then owners and associated people. So I click on here.
Now, is this
And-
only properties that are listed?
No, any property. These are not only properties that are listed. I'm glad Carol asked that. They're not. So typically when I open up the owners, they have multiple phone numbers here, email addresses, everything. Now, this person specifically is an estate, and that may be why we don't have information. It's an older person. Oh, thank you. So if it's actively listed, it will not have the owners on it, which is how it should be. So it says they say that here, contact information locked. So if I had pulled up a property that was not listed, like I did last week, I was able to get multiple numbers here and updated numbers, okay? So that's only one thing that I know, and I'm gonna learn more, and I hope you will learn more.
Missy,
Yes,
Missy, does that also show whether it's in a floodplain?
I can't tell you that because I don't know that much about this at this point. Someone said they think so, but again, I was signed up for yesterday's class and I wasn't able to attend it because someone ended up coming in earlier. So that's why I want to delve into it more. But just this resource alone, if you want to call people or contact people or get their information, it's right here. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. So that's just a reminder. Have you tried to go on, sign up for classes and get to know that resource? Because that will be your best friend in our business. I mean, that's amazing. We used to go on to RPR for that too. Also, what it didn't show there, which I've seen in other ones, is their mortgage information.
Yeah.
So again, because this person, I believe, maybe original owner, probably hasn't had a mortgage in a long, long time, that wasn't available. But ones that I have gone on have shown all their mortgage information. Everything is on that one page, which is awesome. So, yeah, verifies everything. So I just wanted you to know that that's available. Something else I wanted to share with you, I found out yesterday, is Wyckoff Home Protection Plan. An agent had come to me that their parent wanted to use the home protection plan for their home and wanted to know if they got the discount. So I called John Mulligan and he called me back this morning and he said, yes, friends and families get the discount. Yes, 10% discount off the policies. So again, what he suggests you do is you call him directly and you give him the information, whoever's going to do it, and then he'll put it through to make sure that your friend or family is getting the discount. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be just for clients who are purchasing a property or selling a property. It could be for anybody that you know, they can take advantage of it with a 10% discount. So I thought that was good to know, and I want to share that with you. And then lastly, the NCJR annual breakfast meeting. It's something I would go to all the time as an agent, as a broker. It's actually virtual now, and it's coming up in October. So if you haven't signed up for it, go on to NCJR and sign up. I believe it's on a Monday morning, and it's always great information. They always have great legal updates, great motivation. And I just think it's something that like keeps us in tune with our local board and what they have to offer us. So again, they always do prizes and different things, and I always find it to be a really great information. So just want to remind you that that's coming up. If you haven't seen it in your email, just log on to ncjr.com and sign up directly. So growth mindset versus fixed mindset. So growth mindset is failure is an opportunity to grow. I can learn to do anything I want. Challenges help me grow. I'm inspired by the success of others. I like to try new things. It's an open mind. It's always willing to learn. It's always willing to grow. You never know enough. You're very open-minded. A fixed mindset is a failure is the limit of my abilities. I'm either good at it or I'm not. I don't like to be challenged, jealous by the success of others, and I stick with old methods. So everybody knows what they are, right? Whether they want to admit it to themselves or not. You know, if you're open-minded and you have a growth mindset, you're constantly in it for learning. You know, I'm always impressed that Peter Ling joined the same day I joined, May 15th of 2018. Of course, I walked in and thought he was here forever because I thought everybody was here forever, but we joined the same day we started. To this day, Peter Lee attends every single one of my trainings. Everyone. I don't care if he's taken the class 5 times, he still comes because he says he learns something new every single time. And that's a growth mindset. I have new agents who come in and after 3 trainings know everything, and they don't have to come to training anymore, right? So that's a fixed mindset. So again, you know, just figure out what you are, but it's really important to continue to grow, especially in our business. Nobody knows everything. You guys stump me. I stump Mary Kano. I mean, she stumps Gary Large, right? It's constant. It's a constant thing that we're all learning and growing. So I just want to learn and grow with one another.
And Gary
So-
Large started with White.
No, he did. Gary Large started at Wicard. Everybody started at Wicard, I think. But I used to think everybody came from Newark, not from Europe, right? Everybody started in Newark, New Jersey, and everybody started at Wicard. Those are the 2 things I know to be true. But with that said, the growth mindset and the fixed mindset, I want to give a special thanks to Tabitha. She did a great, phenomenal session the other day here. Really, really unfiltered, raw, from the heart, passionate, very well spoken. She did not say any curse words, I promise you. No, she was really, really good. So some of so I want to thank her for sharing her daily activities and her passion for real estate. And my takeaways from her class were, know your why. Why are you doing it every day? Why do you get up? Why are you coming to work? What is your why? And you need to know that. Plan your month ahead, and having a calendar is a must. You have to plan. You have to have a calendar. Is your calendar going to go all crazy and haywire during the week? Absolutely, because we're in real estate. But if you don't have a start, then when you wake up in the morning, you really don't have anything to motivate you to do anything. Do consistent activities daily, and the result will come. You have to be consistent. Every morning, wake up and do the things that you need to do. So her daily activities include engaging in My Wicard every single morning. She has a timer on her phone, so she doesn't get caught up in the Today Show or doing this or doing that. When that timer goes off, she sits in front of her computer and she engages with her My Wicard clients every single day. And that's why she's been really so successful this summer, right? She's been doing really well. And if you have not, set time aside with Stephanie to make sure that this amazing system is working for you. Just this week, a lot more agents have come back into the office and have been sitting with Stephanie. And as they're leaving, I'm like, I hear them saying, no matter how long they've been in the business, I need to get you back again next week. They're learning so much. There's that system is so robust. You need to take baby steps and you need to learn it one-on-one. You have a resource to learn it one-on-one and get at your own pace, at your own level, whatever it is that you're doing. So make sure you take care of that. And my top aha moment from that day was, she said, you know, every month I was putting in, I need 2 listing appointments and 4 buyer appointments. She goes, but I wasn't going, 2 listings and 4 sales. Okay, that's what she said. So, but I wasn't going on any listing appointments. So how was I supposed to get a listing if I wasn't doing any listing appointments? And finally realized, like, yes, it's okay to, it's great to put these goals down, but you have to have the appointments and the results in order to get those, right? So it was really great. I want to thank her again for her time and for sharing those with us. So there's our Mondays at 12:30 p.m. Learn from the legacies, and Thursdays at 12:30 starting tomorrow is Fall Back into Real Estate, which is an accountability session. Okay, to get back to basics, and you're going to be accountable. We give you a list of activities that you need to do, and those activities are just things to remind you every day of things that you should be doing in real estate. So please join us. Both of those are via Zoom and live. Okay. I thought I put in. Oh, I didn't. Okay, so this week I thought I put it in, but I didn't. This upcoming week for Learn from Legacy on Monday at 12:30 is going to be Cheryl Towie, and she's going to be sharing with you. She's going to be talking about appraisals. Okay, so that's a great one again for any agent, for any level, just to understand the appraisal process and what's going on in today's environment. She will be sharing that with us. Okay, so that's this upcoming Monday. So please share your successes. If you have successes, love to share it so that we can post them. Carlos sends out a daily dose every day of good news. And so every time you share some with us, Stephanie and I will send that in and they'll post that. So anything that you have that you want to share, please let us know. We'd love to share you. And these are some of the things that you could, that you can let us know about if you have success with any of these things. Stephanie? We got to you finally.
Good morning. Thank you, Missy. Good morning, everybody. So I just wanted to share our numbers. I mentioned last week I'm going to start sharing these numbers each week. So our office-wide pipeline numbers are as follows. So this is current. We have 25,000 plus in Sphere, more than 100,000 in the prospect phase, 8,700 in the new lead, active lead 5,800, client 362, under contract 42, 1102 for close, and there's our total. So obviously, I just wanted to make sure you guys are making sure you're putting your contacts through the different parts of the pipeline. Just in case you don't remember what kind of each one means, I just kind of have the definitions there. So if you're wondering how to classify your people as you're going through the pipeline or as you're adding people to your database in My White Dirt, so Sphere is like friends and family, people that you know, people that potentially might refer you business. Sphere is a good one to put your way past clients in if they're set in their home, they're not going to be working with you in that level, but potentially might refer you business. And Sphere is a good one for that. Prospect is people that you have met or maybe have obtained information on, like Bold Realty, phone calls, whatever you're doing, but they're not yet at that point of buying or selling a house. Prospect is a good status to put them at. New lead is what it sounds like. Typically, White Coat Lead Network leads come in as new lead, or somebody that might be interested in doing something. Prospect and new lead is very similar. You just decide what you want to do with your system. Active lead is obviously somebody that you're working with, you're showing homes to, your potential seller, you've been on a listing appointment with, whatever. Somebody that you want to keep up with. Client contract. Client and contract are very similar. Also, just decide what you kind of want to use for your clients. Contract is obviously somebody who is under contract. Close and archive. Closed is closed. The good thing about closed is that once you put the person in closed, make sure you add their close date, even if they're a buyer. Put them in a close, put their last close date in. Every year on that date, they'll receive an auto email that says, congratulations on your happy anniversary on your sale. It's just another, touch point. I think I mentioned that last week. In archive is My White Dirt definition of delete. So instead of, deleting and never having that information, put them in the archive. This way they're still in your system, but they kind of live in the background. They won't be on your main database screen. So that's that, those numbers, and then slightly different numbers that I shared with you last week. So the top chart there is where our numbers stood as of 9/7. Here's where our numbers stand as of 9/14. What I did was I color coded this green meaning a good change, red not such a good change. Our property alerts have gone down slightly, and I found out, I researched how they would go down. So unsubscribes is mostly the thing that makes that number go down. So, try to keep up with getting more people onto property alerts so we can kind of even out that number. The behavior alerts are those auto emails and text messages that go out when somebody goes onto your website after a certain period of time. Those have gone down slightly, not too bad. But the great thing is our smart campaigns went up quite a bit, like 2,000, which means 2,000 more contacts, 2,000 plus more contacts have been added to a smart campaign, whether it's, Wiper Lead or you guys are utilizing, maybe the open house campaign is firing, whatever the case may be. Great number. Thanks, guys. And then some other great numbers that happened. 609 phone calls were made through the portal, which is great. Text messages went up and email engagement has gone up, but the property views have gone down slightly. The property views is just when somebody's going onto your website and clicking on a property. So this has gone down slightly, not too bad. And then unengaged leads. So the no property alerts, if that number goes down, that's a positive change. So we had 164,000 last week, but now we have 161,000. So more and more people are going on to search alerts potentially than unsubscribing. So the numbers kind of are skewed a little bit. And then the no market reports, again, the number has gone down, which is good. No active campaigns, gone down. That's also good. Unsubscribes have kind of gone up slightly. Again, that's kind of related to the property loans number over there. So those are kind of the numbers where we are. And then next week I'll share with you the numbers as they change from this week. So this way we can kind of gauge what we're all doing. So that's pretty much all I have for this week. I did forget to put a slide in. Next Thursday, the 23rd at 9 and 12 will be our next MTS workshop. And we're going to be doing, we're going to be training on the MyWiper app, which we've never done before. So I'm going to be actually sharing my phone screen with the audience. So you can kind of see the game, not the open house app, but the MyWiper app. And we're going to be talking about the pipeline, which I went over in my previous slide. Some best practices there. So that's going to be 9 and 12. I sent out the email yesterday. I'll send another email out so you can register for that. Great. Any questions, you guys?
I have a quick question.
Jen?
I like, I don't mind sending emails before, which is much easier, but it's challenging because you can't add attachments. Like I'm going to attach something, you can't attach. You just pop
So
off.
my solving that is to use Google Drives, the Google Drive,
Okay.
and add a link in.
Okay.
So share that, put that file on your Google Drive.
Okay.
And click, we can go through this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a training next week.
Yeah, that'll be
Do
good.
a quick training. Add the document, Excel document, Word document, whatever it is, PowerPoint, whatever you're sharing with that person. So you'll have to obviously know that person's email address.
Right.
Because it's going to ask you, who do you want to share it with? You don't want to share it with the world.
No.
You just want to share it with one person. And then it actually gives you a shareable link that you
Okay.
can paste into the email.
Yeah, they
Right,
do
it's
that because
similar.
they don't, a lot of email providers will put it in spam if there's an attachment. So that's
Right.
why they don't allow attachments. There's a
Right.
reason why. So that's the way around is by doing the Google Drive link.
And don't forget also, when we send out emails to KV Core, it's using KV Core's server, not Wipers. So they have to be careful with, you're talking about thousands of agents sending emails through, so you don't, who knows what people send, right? So that's the best way around it. Okay, you can also use the OneDrive. I don't know, you have a Mac, so
Yeah.
that's not available, but that's, that's
I do
another-
have one drive.
Oh, okay, so that's another, it's similar to
Similar.
Google Drive, yeah, similar to Google Drive, you can just share it with yours. Thanks, you guys.
So I did put this together. I just didn't have it in the right spot. So Monday this week is understanding appraisal with Cheryl. The following Monday, open houses with Catherine. Get the commission you deserve with Eric Troutman, October 4th, and give some last tips and best practices with Vin. So that's where we are so far, and I'll keep adding legacies and learnings as we go along. So this is the schedule. There's a link. You can be here in person or via Zoom. So our local market absorption rate, as you see, Morris Plains went up. They have a lot more homes active this month, this week. So they're up from 1.6 absorption to 3.2. We do see a spike in every town every once in a while, and then the following week it seems to even out again. Parsippany, Hanover, East Hanover. So everyone, East Hanover went down drastically under 1 month's inventory. Denville went up to 3.3, and everything else stayed pretty much. Morris Township, just the amount of homes that went on the market from 49 to 61 active in a week. So again, just to share with you differences, what's going on in our local market and what the absorption rate is, so you can share with your clients. Huge. So on the market, Vin, are you on to share these 2 new listings? I know I had seen you earlier. Can't see anything. It's horrible. Yeah, I know. Vin Dotwani Way. Yeah, yep, as we call it, Dotwani Way. So he has 320, well, he has S7 and H4. Can't see, I can probably look up here. 2 new listings that he has on the market there at Mountain View Manor. Can't get anything to move now. Cheryl has 10 Butternut Road in Vernon Township for 319. Lori has 9 Timothy Court in Morris Township for 469. I believe that's in Rose Arbor. That unit is Rose Arbor. Rose Rustiello, 15 Monroe Place in Rockaway for 549.
Rose came back alive.
Peter, mute yourself, buddy. There he goes. He heard me. 116 Cayuga Ave in Rockaway. I believe she already has offers on this. I think she has multiple offers on that one already for 360. Brendan, now you can unmute yourself, Peter, if you want to talk about this. Brenda and Peter have 2 Ann Street in Clifton for 259 and 21 Kings Road in Rockaway for 499. I believe that one was on prior, took a contract and just came back on the market, the one in Rockaway. And then Mara, today's Mara's birthday. For the birthday, Mara. 61 Radke Road, 565. And then I heard from Bev last night. She has a new listing coming on. Her little
Hey,
Bev-
I have a question.
Yes.
Why do we call Bev Nichols with any questions?
Because it's her listing. It's coming soon. It's a different listing than Mara's.
Oh, got
I
it.
was just
Sorry.
going over it. I was just saying.
I'm like,
Bev is getting a
woo.
new listing.
I got confused.
Oh, well, glad you clarified that. Yes, yes. No. So Bev has a new listing coming on. She reached out to me last night. She was going to be in a doctor's office this morning. She's listening, but she couldn't speak. So this was her description, FYI. It's a smaller home, rancher Cape style, 4 bedrooms, 2 full baths, no dining room or garage on a cul-de-sac in White Meadow Lake, very close to the clubhouse. 4th bedroom option can be a family room, dining room, or office. So it's probably a Cape. On the first level, it's priced at $363. And first open house is on Sunday, 9/19, from 1 to 4 p.m. No showings until the open house, and she will be sitting at the open house. Okay, her and Cherry, I guess, listed it, and so she wanted me to announce that to you. That's a great price point for this market. So get in touch with Bev if you have any questions. Anybody else have anything new coming on? Any new listings? In search of price improvements, rentals. We had a lot of new listings this week, a lot of new listings, which was nice to see a lot of those slides. Okay, well then if that's it, we didn't finish too badly today, considering we got off track a lot of times. I want to see everybody's faces. There we go. Thank you for attending, guys. Let me know if there's anything you need. We're here. Things are getting busier again. I love it. So hope to see you in the office soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Are you still collecting the quiz things, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, I didn't put my name on that.
I know. I was looking at it. I do need a pen.
I just put like
Oh, I keep-
history, but
Anybody have a pen?
we're paying attention.
right.
This
You're right.
copy was Carol.
Yeah, she.
Or me.
Or
That's
Nancy.
Lanny.
That's usually right around now when it comes.
Yeah. that was-
Eric Troutman, you're the big winner.
Oh, cool.
But we'll see if you're the
My
big
name
winner.
is- you can
Yeah, I'm
see
gonna put your name.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna put everybody else's name.
Anybody know anybody who wants to
Good morning, Rosie. How are you?
Anybody need dishes? Sir?
I got 3 sets if you find more than one.
Mm.
Yeah, no books. Everything's great.
$10.
China.
Wait, she wants dishes or she's looking, what-
No, sunshine, I have.
oh, you have it, yeah, okay. That's what I thought.
What's the name? What's your comment?
Carol,
Oh, my God. And he's vaccinated.